Welcome to the SHW podcast.
SHW, this is our wrestling.
Hey, you think you could walk all over me, but I don't see that happening. We're warriors who strike terror into the hearts of others without warning.
And now, the voices of Southern Honor Wrestling.
Brandon Benefield, Gerard Bonner, and Diana Michelle.
What's going on, everybody? It's that time of the week. It's Friday. You know what that means. It's time for your favorite podcast, SHW. This is our wrestling. I'm B-Double Brandon Benefield alongside the great GB Gerard Bonner and the beautiful Diana Michelle. And, of course, you see we have a very special guest. We have a big event coming up next Friday, so we thought who better than one of the masterminds behind the scenes, along with Jake the Snake, coming up with massive card after massive card, month after month. It's the one and only, the decision maker of Southern Honor Wrestling, our pal, your pal, all of our pals, Sal Renaro. What's up, buddy?
Hey, well, I just want to let you know it's not just Sal Renaro.
Oh,
I brought in spirit my good friend, the leader of this
matchmaker.
ship. Yes, the man that accepts the decisions I make. Jake the Snake's right here with me, guys.
All right.
So we've got a full house. Let's go.
All right.
I love it.
Love it.
I love
Thanks,
it.
Jake.
Thanks, Jake.
All right. So if you're not aware by now, you should be, because we've been talking about it for weeks at this point. Next Friday, 1 week from tonight, September 12th, SHW77, it will be the final SHW show inside the legendary Action Building. And let me clear up any misconceptions, because people have been asking. It is not the final SHW show, but it's the final show inside the Action Building, as we will be moving to a new location. We will find out more about that at the show next Friday. So you definitely want to be there for a multitude of reasons. I mean, it's just going to be an historic night altogether. We've got a lot of people returning. We've got some big matches in store. It's just going to be an incredible night, kind of a tribute night as well. We're going to be looking back on some of the huge memories, countless memories inside that building over the last 7 years. But I don't even know where to start, guys. Well, first of all, like we usually do at the beginning of the episode, is everybody good? I haven't talked to you since last week. Everybody having a good week? How's everybody doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a week. It's work. It's a lot of work.
Diana, it's pretty much par for the course. It's usually once we get to Friday, it's like, this is what I've been waiting for, to talk to you guys and finally kick back for the weekend. Yeah, I get it.
Thank you.
I get it.
Yes.
DB?
I'm ready for this show.
Yeah. No, it's been a week. It's hard to believe that we're in September, and it was very weird last weekend being Labor Day weekend, but Labor Day falling on September 1st. It just kind of weirded me out a bit. But because usually, you're in September and then Labor Day happens, but it's a whole thing. But I do want to start off by shouting out the Infantry.
Yes.
Brand new 6-man tag team champions, along with Shane Taylor as part of Shane Taylor Promotions. I am so proud. Oh my gosh. You guys know the deal. You know how we feel. So just a big congratulations to our tag team champions, who are now also the 6-man tag champions at Ring of Honor. Their suitcases just keep getting heavier and heavier, and we love to see it. Congratulations to Shane Taylor Promotions, Carly Bravo, Sean Dean, the Infantry. We salute you guys.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
And with that, as the decision maker, I saw, but I'm a sucker for a good time. As soon as I saw that 3 count, the first thing that popped in my brain was, we already got the Infantry. We might as well see if we can get old Shane Taylor to tag along. So just know,
exactly,
there's work being done. Maybe those AEW trio or the ROH trios championships might soon make an appearance at a Southern Honor show.
Hey,
Awesome.
anything can and most of the time does happen at SHW. So it's been put into the universe. It's out there. We'll see what happens. Hopefully sometime soon. We'll see. But let's get to next Friday. As we mentioned, SHW77, our next big show. Yes, we are coming up on the big anniversary. Still Here 7 coming up as well. But before we get there, we've got to get to the final show inside the iconic Action Building. It's just been insane to think. Sometimes it's hard to believe it's been 7 years and it feels like it's gone by just like that. And then other times it feels like the very first show felt like forever ago.
70 years.
But yeah. In fact, we've got a guest coming next week joining the commentary team. AC Mack will be returning, stepping out of retirement. Not in the wrestling ring, but he's coming back to the commentary booth to join us for the night. And I think I got this, I'm not mistaken, at the very first SHW show 7 years ago. So excited to see him back. Let's talk about some of the big returns coming back. We saw Ashton Starr at the Rumble Jack, and one of my favorite moments when he went up on the shoulder there of Black Machismo during the Rumble Jack match. Well, we found out that Ashton Starr will be returning and bringing back the Petty Party for one night only. And what do we think he might have in store here? Whenever I think of Petty Party, I kind of have a flashback to the community cupcakes that where I got in a little bit of trouble that one time. But I don't know. There's no telling what's going to happen at a Petty Party, you know?
And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of this whole. That's the beauty of this whole show, top to bottom, is what you think you know. I promise you probably don't know at all, right? And I mean, with Ashton Starr bringing back the Petty Party, I've had this conversation with a couple people. This whole show is going to be akin, to me at least, putting it together. The work we've done on the backside, it's so much more like ECW One Night Stand, or even more so to me, the hardcore reunion that they did at the ECW arena the night before, where there's so much of the past and the present coming together. So, we're getting the current Ashton Starr in all his glory, but he's bringing back the Petty Party. And I mean, that's just a tip of the iceberg of the surprises in line for this show that I can't wait for it.
Yeah. GB, Diana, do you guys have any of all the Petty Parties that have taken place over the years, any big standout memories or fun moments that you can reflect on? There's so many, I know. I think back to Logan Chase being shot with the confetti cannon. That's one of them.
Well, I thought about that, and strangely enough, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like one of those Petty Parties, I thought it was Sean Dean, but it might have been somebody else that was connected to it because Logan Chase was involved, and it was pretty wild. And that was the thing, like the Petty Parties always had this air of unpredictability that Ashton would say or do something that you go, I don't think you're supposed to say that. I don't think you're supposed to do that. And, it would just get crazy in a heartbeat. So, to me, to your point, Sal, because this show has so many crazy elements and it's the last one in the Action Building, people want to make an impression. So I have no clue what this version of Ashton Starr is going to do with a live mic and a Petty Party. That alone is worth the price of admission because he could say or do anything.
Exactly.
And who could possibly be his guest? We have no idea. I mean, we know there's a bunch of people returning, whether they're in matches, whether they're just making appearances. You just don't know whether it's somebody that's currently on the roster. There's no telling. So we're very excited to find out. We also found out returning. I don't know about in action, but I know they'll be there to drop one more quarter in the jukebox one last time inside the Action Building, that being fan favorites All-Star Special. Hold My Beer Hansen, Will Huckabee coming back for one night to rock the house, and I assume what will be a big karaoke session as they tend to do. So looking forward to that. And who knows what song's going to be in the jukebox this time.
Absolutely.
There's
What
no
we're
telling.
playing? Are we going to bring back one of the oldies? Are we going to bring a new one out? I don't know what they've been doing lately. What's in their playlist lately? But Sweet Caroline's always good.
Well, and when in doubt, always play the thong song. That's just one of the staples of my life.
Okay.
Just if there's ever a question, you're always safe with the thong song. Cisco really liked thongs. Dedicated whole song to it, and I respect him for that. But like the thing is, like you brought up such a good point, right? Like this is. They always say, you never have a second chance to make a first impression. Well, with that, this is the last time. This is the last time any of us are going to get to step foot into this building and make that last impression, right? So, like, I know for myself personally, right? Like, I've had memories that will endure long past me in that building, but I know I've got one more shot, right? Like, I look back at my time, and a lot of you probably know of this, like I spent a good chunk of the early years of my career in Wildside at the Church of Southern Wrestling in Cornelia, Georgia, right? And I mean, and some of that stuff was filmed for TV, and some of that stuff literally cannot say. Because the feds will get involved, the names, and I'll just know that if those balls could tell stories, I would not be on this podcast right now.
Wow.
And I know there's people that have those same experiences inside that building, right? And they want it to be, when the Church of Southern Wrestling shut down in Cornelia, there are some tales that got locked behind those doors that will never leave those doors. And this is a chance for a lot of those guys that, one last time, write a story that stays locked behind those doors. And, I'm just so excited about getting to share this with the fans. I know personally, like I said, I want to make my mark, right? Like I've made marks in that building before. I've done cool stuff in that building before, and I'm pretty sure we'll elaborate on that here shortly. But like, I know going in, like this is it, right? It's now or never, and I'm not a big believer in never. So let's run it, And that's my crazy thought process. There's some wild people that are showing up. Like, just imagine.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about some of the other folks that are showing up that we haven't seen in a while. Somebody that we heard will be in action, and somebody, Sal, that you're very, very familiar with. Todd Sexton will be making his return to Southern Honor Wrestling, and all we know is that he'll be facing someone from his past. That could be absolutely anybody. I mean, anybody. He's got a long wrestling past.
I mean, keep in mind, this is a guy that was trained by Shawn Michaels, right? Like, digest that real quick, right? I mean, like,
I'm sorry. Did the decision maker just drop a hint that HBK is going to be at the?
Don't do that.
Wait a second.
Don't do that.
I'm not one to give away a good time. I'm just saying.
Okay.
But no, I mean, but that's the kind of lineage that Todd Sexton has, right? I mean, Todd was a class behind Bryan Danielson and Brian Kendrick. The list goes on and on and on and on, So this can be, I mean, I may have been clued in. I may have received a couple phone calls. This is my promise. You will not be disappointed.
There you go. You heard it from the decision maker. You got to be there, folks. I mean, and that's just one little nugget of a whole night that's going to be massive, right? So
absolutely,
you just got to be there. Make your plans right this second, and if you already have plans, change them and come see us.
I mean, just think about this. You guys know Todd Sexton well enough to know he's a salty, bitter old man, right? Like
what?
Old's a strong word, but he's definitely salty and bitter, right?
Yeah.
So to get Todd to make the trip one more time, there's got to be a reason for it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm looking forward to seeing if my little birdies that have tweeted in my ears have given me the right information. If so, we're in for a wild ride.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I think that this night is reminding me of what Taboo Tuesday used to be, Cyber Sunday, those kinds of moments where you're like, we don't know what's gonna happen. It's highly unpredictable, and that's what makes wrestling fun.
Mm-hmm.
And so to your point, when you think about an evening, so many memories have been made here, so many people have made it. And here's the other thing that we haven't considered. All of the people who always wanted to get to work in the action building that now don't get a chance to after next Friday, how many of them show up?
Yep.
Whether that's just to be on the card or to be in the building, the possibilities here are endless, and it makes this show arguably more unpredictable than the Rumble Jack we just came out of. And there's a lot to be said for that, because now we're not talking about something for championships. We're talking about legacy. We're talking about getting the chance to say, like, who wouldn't do their best to have one last match in Madison Square Garden, right? Who wouldn't do whatever they could to have one last match at the Tokyo Dome, or, the Sportatorium, or the 2300 Arena, right? Like, all of these iconic spaces. So, we've had the chance to be a part of an iconic space. I shudder to think who's going to show up just to say they were there for the last show in this building.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and just to add to that point, just because I've experienced it, right? I've had conversations individually with guys like CM Punk, Colt Cabana, Alex Shelley, who have all at one point or another through conversations said, man, one place I always wanted to check off my bucket list was the Church of Southern Wrestling, right? That was the place to be in the early 2000s. Well, make no doubt about it. The Action Building has been the place to be for the last 7 years. It has been the Southern Wrestling place to be. Right. So now you start, going through your mind, who hasn't been here? It's crazy to think in the 7 years, the names that have walked through the doors of that building. Right. And all of you have seen it when you pull up and you go, this is the place. I know the first time I got there, I was like, the match got me again. Where the crap am I supposed to be? Right. But then you walk through that threshold and it's magic. Right. Yeah. And then you think about the names. Just a laundry list of stars in pro wrestling, who's from either tomorrow or now or the past. You just think about all those names that have walked through. Then you take a half second back to think, well, who hasn't? Who has missed a good time and doesn't want to miss that good time?
Yeah.
Right?
And they've got one more shot. 1 week from tonight, September 12th, SHW77, the night where Southern Honor Wrestling leaves the memories alone in the Action Building one more time. And again, here's another matchup that we don't know who's going to be involved other than one person, and that's Gunnar Miller. He's going to be in action, but we haven't been told who his opponent's going to be. We know Matt the Mouth, will be by his side. But,
I was hoping you were breaking news that it was going to be Matt Griffin versus Gunnar Miller.
Well, that would be something.
You
I don't
can
know.
make that happen.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're the decision maker. Make it happen, bud.
I got something to think about.
Either that or have him locked in the dog kennel again. That would be fine too.
That's great.
But yeah, who knows? Who knows who's going to show up and face Gunnar Miller? We don't know.
Do you know how hard I tried to hide those keys? In my dream world, he would still be locked in that dog cage. That's just me. That's just me. Yeah. I get those laws and things like that.
Right.
By the way, that night where he was handcuffed to the steel guardrail, like way after the show was over, and all the fans were heckling him, and all of us were heckling him. Oh, it was beautiful. Uh, all right. Well, there's another one. So yeah, Todd Sexton, Gunnar Miller, both in action, but we don't know against who. There's no telling who's going to show up on this night. GB, you touched on it. You made a great point. We just came off the Rumble Jack, and that's the most unpredictable night every year on our calendar, right? And this could be just as unpredictable, which is saying a whole heck of a lot. So you just don't know.
Especially if you look back at the Rumble Jack, right? Look at
Right.
like the who showed up that was, like how many people expected Black Machismo to walk through the curtain, right? How many people had Billy Gunn in a Southern Honor ring on their 2025 bingo card, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, the biggest human being that's ever lived. I don't.
He's huge.
Billy Gunn just
He is.
doesn't stop being a human.
And he
He's
looks
just
the same as he
biggest
did
human.
30 years ago. It's
He
insane.
looks better.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
He is massive, no doubt.
Unbelievable. Well, we have an interesting matchup that's coming to the Action Building next week. We have seen death matches before in Southern Honor. They've been few and far between, for sure. However, I feel like they've always somehow or another included the Killbilly Nathan Mowry. Well, one thing that stands out in my mind when we think about all the memories that have taken place in the Action Building was a matchup that involved Danny Jordan and Lindsay Snow. It was just a regular one-on-one matchup, but before either lady got to the ring, they went all over the building and beat the living you-know-what out of each other, to the point where Lindsay Snow actually threw Danny Jordan through the wall, not just into the wall, but through a wall. The wall over there by the sound booth. If you look over there now, it's been patched up. You wouldn't even know it was there. But go back and watch the videos. It was in the first year or two of SHW. I don't remember exactly what show, but it's on camera where Danny Jordan gets thrown through the wall. Anyways, fast forward to 2025. Lindsay Snow has made quite the name for herself in the deathmatch scene, as has Nathan Mowry, the Killbilly, who we have seen since his very first match, his whole progression from camera guy in our early years to now this death match. He's making the scene huge here in the Southeast, and he's traveling the country, hitting up the death match scene in all the other territories as well. Well, we're going to see Nathan Mowry versus Lindsay Snow in a death match. Well, it's a no DQ match. I don't know if we're calling it a death match. I mean, you tell me, Sal. A no DQ match. But the thing is, we know what both of these people are capable of. So it's going to devolve into a death match of sorts.
You can call it what you want. I'm putting all the heat on this man. He signed off on it. No, I mean, this is going to be, I think for liability purposes, we have to put no DQ on the poster, but spoiler alert.
But
I'm
you
going to
guys know.
say, I do have a box of light tubes in the back of my car right now.
Of course you do.
I do, because I have a hookup or something. The electricians in my building decide they're going to bring them all to me because they know who I hang out with on the weekends. So
Yeah. So Nathan, did you hear that? Lindsay?
he knows. He knows.
Yeah.
There's nothing I appreciate more in life than
Wow.
knowing that you're you're the light tube lady.
I always have them. Apparently, they just come here. You guys need some light tubes? I was like, yeah, throw them in the car.
Of course I do.
Of course, always can use
Of
them.
course. Of course. I'm curious. You guys help me. Is this the first intergender match we've had?
So technically, no. But it's, again, kind of like the death matches or the hardcore match, whatever. They're kind of few and far between. I want to say there was at least one singles intergender match, and it was, I believe, Ashton Starr and Danny Jordan a long, long time ago. And then I believe there's been maybe one or two or three intergender tag team or like mixed tag matches,
Right.
where I think in the early days, I think we saw Alan
New
Angels
Era, I
teaming with Danny Jordan against Lindsay Snow and Shannon Moore, I think, sometime in the first year. We've seen Lindsay Snow teaming with Tommy Dreamer at one of the Still Here's against, I believe, David Ali and Danny Jordan. So
Yeah.
there's been a few, but again, it's few and far between. So
I believe, don't quote me on this. My memory's not the best. I believe there was an 8-man tag at one point where myself and
Dishonor.
Brooklyn, and yeah, and I know I'm pretty sure
Hmm.
Brooklyn was in the match and
Brooklyn
Gary
was in
was
the
in the
match
match.
because she
Yeah,
was with Gary against
yeah,
Gary, and
That's right.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Dishonor. I believe was it Carly that accidentally super kicked Brooklyn maybe
That
and
it
caused
wasn't
Yeah.
me. It
yeah.
wasn't me,
it wasn't
Logan.
me.
It wasn't
Well, I
me.
don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Thank you,
so
Shaggy. We
so
appreciate
there's
you.
been yeah, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
But there's been a few. But we've never seen one in this kind of no holds barred situation. Well, I guess
Mm-mm.
technically the one that involved Tommy Dreamer devolved into kind of an extreme situation.
Yes, but it did.
I'll never forget that during that matchup, you know, nobody tells Gerard and I and Diana, we don't get told a lot of stuff, right? And so during that match, Tommy Dreamer comes over to the table. We're live on commentary, and he looks at me and what did he ask me? It was like, yeah, he asked me for like the palette or something like that. And we're on the commentary. And I'm like, I don't know. And he's like looking around for a palette, and I'm like, what is he talking about, palette? I didn't even know this was going to devolve into a no holds barred match. Like, what are you talking about? So, anyways, but that was a wild night that involved, of course, Lindsay Snow. And that was kind of the early days of us first discovering that she had this like hardcore side to her. And now over the last several years, everything you see on social media, you're like, oh my goodness, look at what she's doing. And same thing we always say about Nathan as well. So the fact that these two are coming back, Lindsay in the early days of SHW was a big part of the company, and it'll be amazing to see her coming back one more time. And this alone is going to be quite the spectacle and worth the price of admission because you just don't know what to expect. We've said it the whole time. You don't know what to expect, but this match especially.
Oh,
Right.
100%. I I don't think it's pleasure is not the word, but Sunny Days and I had a death match with the old Kill Billy and
Yeah.
Tank, and
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was the night I had a dollar bill stapled to my tongue and my
Oh,
face. Yeah, right. That's disgusting. Uh, a bottle broken over my head. I got abused by a Chucky doll.
you did.
Unbelievable.
Uh,
That Chucky doll has seen more action in that building, by the way.
that Chucky doll
That's
could tell
one
a
of the day
story.
ones right there. That's an OG.
Oh.
And keep in mind, I'm not a deathmatch wrestler in the least. This is what Nathan did to me. Now we've got Lindsay in there with Nathan. Now it's going to be tit for tat. No pun intended. Uh, like this is going to be a spectacle.
Yeah. Diana, your thoughts on this one?
It's gonna be messy.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be messy. I don't know where on the card this one's gonna be, but clean up on aisle 5, please. It's gonna be
Yes.
messy, bloody and messy.
I mean, we saw that match with Zicky and PWH last month, and it
Mess.
made a huge mess. And we saw how long it took for them to have to clean up the ring before the
And that
next
was
match.
just a crumbly old table. We're talking
Right.
about blood and
Diana's
whatever else they
Diana's light
decide to bring
tubes.
out. Yeah. I just hand them off to whoever needs them, and usually Nathan needs them.
GB, any other thoughts on this
It's
wild one?
it's going to be a wild one. And again, if you're going to send it out, you send it out that way. And again, Lindsay Snow is as hardcore and fearless as you will find. And so, knowing how fearless the Killbilly is, I don't know what they're going to do to each other. They could do almost anything. So again, the level of unpredictability, you can guarantee though, this match is going to be a problem.
These
Yeah.
two
It's going to
people,
get messy.
their pleasure and pain just kind of
Yeah, they'll probably hug each other after they just completely almost
absolutely.
kill each other.
Absolutely.
It's going to be wild.
Yeah. Sal, when we were first starting out the episode, you talked about how this whole night's going to kind of be a mixture of the past meeting the present. And one match in particular, we have a tag team matchup featuring a team that we never expected that we would see. And you talk about past meeting present. We've got the Messiah, Alexander Lev, teaming with the guy that a lot of people thought that he was either mocking or trying to take his mojo or whatever you want to call it. The guy that came before him, another Rumblejack winner. We're talking about David Ali, the savior. We saw him at this past Rumblejack a few weeks ago, and he'll be returning to team with Lev against two guys that have been a thorn in Lev's side the last couple of months, talking about Grayson Pierce and the unhinged. Well, Grayson Pierce is unhinged, and he's
Yes.
got this new lunatic with him, Christian Taylor, who seems just as unhinged, if not more so. And so, yeah, we've got a pretty explosive tag team matchup between these two teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you would have told me 6 months ago we'd be here, I would have laughed maniacally, right? I mean, the way that Lev has caught on with the Southern Honor faithful
Yeah.
it's mind-boggling, right?
Yeah.
Coming from the kid that just walked into the Rumblejack hoping to get a spot and couldn't make it to the ring,
Yeah.
to the level of where he has become as not just a beloved figure, but as an in-ring performer,
Right.
I mean, you can put his body of work in 2025 up against anybody and it's
Yeah.
going to parallel, I mean, that we started off the year with him and Joe Black. And I mean, I don't know if I've seen a better match anywhere in any ring than that match. And I mean, the kids captured that lightning in a bottle. He's rode the way. I mean, all the way to he's won the Rumblejack, right? I mean, and he's figured out that he's not telling people he's our Messiah and we have to worship him. He's busted his back end and he's earned the respect. And that's where David Ali comes into play. Where David Ali, flashback, he was the same guy. He was the same guy that said, he was our savior, and everybody, just wanted to vomit every time he said that nonsense. And then you saw one month he'd gotten a little better. 1 month he had improved his body. In 1 month he'd gotten a little better. In 1 month he got, his body had improved until you realize, oh, he's practicing what he's preaching.
Yeah.
And what a beautiful chance we have to take these two SHW originals and put them together in, this one-time pairing, I'm really, really excited to see how this all unfolds.
GB.
Yeah, this is going to be something special. As you were talking about Lev, it made me think, as we're now in the month of September, we've got more months behind or more year behind us than ahead of us in terms of this year. And so, this is about when we start thinking about end of the year, et cetera, et cetera. And I think there is a conversation to be had about Lev being in the running for Wrestler of the Year. And, the way he kicked off the year, you mentioned that match, which has to be up for Match of the Year. You start thinking about all of these moments and how long it's taken Lev to get back to a title opportunity after having dealt with all that Grayson Pierce has put in front of him, knowing that Grayson Pierce has really been the thorn in his side that was supposed to be his friend for the bulk of this year, cost him the Jake the Snake Legacy Championship opportunity, tried to cost him the Rumblejack, certainly beat him before the Rumblejack started. So this is something that Lev has to be able to handle before he can feel clearance to go after the SHW championship. You're right, Sal, that basically this is David Ali 2.0. In the sense of they traveled the same road, they've got the same trajectory. The argument could be made, though, that Lev has gotten there faster than David Ali. And so we had David Ali on here last week, and, he said all of the things that he said. There's still a part of me, though, that wonders, are you fully in the corner of Lev? right? Like, does it eat at you at all that this guy got to where you were trying to get to in less than half the time? Let's be clear. This is what, year 3 for Lev?
Yeah.
Year 3. Okay. Year 3. You're talking about a guy who won Rookie of the Year, then won Male Performer of the Year, and now we're talking potentially this guy could be up for Match of the Year and Wrestler of the Year. This is a scary trajectory. And, you know, here it is. You've got David Ali, who's been in this business, 9, almost 10 years. That's got to eat away at him. It's got to eat away at him. And so, sure, he's the savior. He's all of the things. I just wonder, can Lev trust David Ali? Right now, I don't know who Lev can really trust. He thought he could trust Pierce. Pierce has a whole thing. We know that Ali, you know, sometimes gives me a little Chris Brown, you know, they ain't loyal, you know, that type of thing. Yeah. So I don't know. Lev, watch your back, because let's face it. Okay, I don't want to be this guy. But you do know that David Ali does not hold a win at Still Here. If you take out Lev, you could potentially go and do what you haven't been able to do before, which is win and possibly win the SHW championship, but Still Here. I'm just saying, Lev, watch your back.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, again, you got to, you know, you were weighing in all sorts of factors. Because, yes, Grayson beat Lev right before Lev won the Rumblejack, right?
Sure did.
You know, Lev's got a target on his back. Where's the shooter coming from?
Yeah.
You know, he's been the young up-and-comer 3 years now. Lev's been, you know, on the cusp. He's now at a point where guys are going to use him to make their name off. Grayson Pierce is working on it. And I'll tell you, I don't know how familiar you guys are with this Christian Taylor, but I've had a few conversations with him. I wouldn't even say he's a few crayons short of a whole box. Brother's in black and white. Like he's not working on the same plane that the rest of us are. American Psycho is an understatement. You know, and however he did it, Grayson Pierce has gotten in his ear. You know, I don't know what that dynamic is, but if he can control that rage, Lev could be fighting 3 battles at once.
And don't forget about the Southern Belle. She could be at ringside as well. So Lev, Ali, got to keep their head on a swivel. And to your point, both of you guys, Lev's got a title match coming up. It's Still Here. You know, where is his full focus at? You know, so a lot of factors to take into account coming into this very explosive tag team matchup next Friday, SHW77. And we're not done yet. I mean, we've still got plenty more to talk about here. Let's talk about the Jake the Snake Legacy Champion, who did not have the greatest of nights at the Rumblejack. He's fired up. He's ready to silence all the doubters. I'm sure I'm included in that. I'm sure Diana's included in that. Here's the thing. I've never taken anything away from his in-ring talent. It's the attitude. It's his persona outside of the ring that gets under my skin. But it was announced that he's got an open challenge for the Jake the Snake Legacy Championship to any SHW original. My question is, how far back do you have to go to be an original? Like, are we talking day one original? Like from the very first show, very first year, very first couple of years? I don't really know what the fine line there is, but that's a lot of people that we're talking about. So that's a lot of people that could be answering this open challenge. We talked about the unpredictability for Todd Sexton's match or Gunnar Miller's match. Here's another one. And this one has gold on the line. The Jake the Snake Legacy title on the line. Bryce Cannon putting it up in this open challenge. How are we feeling about this one? Anybody? Diana, you first, actually. Let's get Diana.
Ladies first.
Just because it's Bryce, and I kind of know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
Whoever it is, it doesn't matter. Just beat him. Just beat him. Just take the title, for God's sakes. Anybody? Anybody? Like anybody?
Well,
Anybody.
I will say this. I contacted Bryce about what any Southern Honor Wrestling original meant, because that's a very open-ended thing.
Yeah.
And he called me a cooch and hung up on me. So that's
A
the
chooch.
answer.
Chooch.
Whatever. I don't know what he called me.
Let's hope it was
It was-
Chooch.
Let's hope it was Chooch. We
Either
still don't know what
way.
a Chooch is. But yeah.
Either way, he was rude and hung up on me.
Well, there
Yeah.
you go. Par for the course. So whoever it is needs the title.
So I think it really, the only person that knows the answer to what the limitations of an SHW original is Bryce. So to me, that says, hey man, if you've ever even said the letters SH and or W at any point in life, come on. let's throw some hands at Bryce Cannon. I'm cool with that.
Heck yeah. But does that mean he has the power to reject whoever comes out if he doesn't feel like they're the original?
Possibly. It
Good,
does.
good question. I don't know.
I'll
Okay.
just say this. I think this is a massive challenge for Bryce Cannon for sure, because of just how broad that net is in terms of an SHW original. With that said, I think many have been underestimating what Bryce Cannon has done as champion. I know when he made his comeback, he called a shot, which shocked a lot of people. And he went against a red hot Kyle Matthews, who seemed unbeatable, and found a way to get a win. And so that could be the most dangerous aspect of the Jake the Snake Legacy champion, is that he finds ways to win. He has not done enough solo work in Southern Honor for people to start studying him. Because the problem is he keeps winning all of these different ways. You don't know what to expect. That makes him very, very dangerous. So whoever is paying attention and wants the challenge, hopefully they found some tape to study, but you have to expect the unexpected. And I don't know that he's going to make this kind of challenge without thinking about, who it could be and preparing for them. So this ought to be pretty interesting to see what Bryce Cannon does, but this certainly looks like it could be the toughest challenge of his reign as of yet.
And GB, just to add on to your point from earlier, right? We're talking about legacy, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the last chance. There's only going to be one human being that can close the action building as the Jake the Snake Legacy champion, right? There's only one person. There's a paramount of pressure on him that he might not even know. I hope I just put this in his head and it freaks him out. Maybe droops his pip a little bit or something. But there's, like I said, that's it. There's one. There's only one man that when Southern Honor starts its next step can walk in as the first Jake the Snake champion. And this is Bryce Cannon's chance to forge that legacy. And I don't think I know he's not afraid to take any shortcut to get there.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Sal, on that same token, much like with the Jake the Snake Legacy title, the same can be said with the Southern Honor Championship itself. And real quick, before I get to this match, I do want to tip my cap to you and our matchmaker, Jake the Snake Roberts, for allowing Joe Black to actually choose his own opponent here. He did not have a championship match going into this show. He came to you guys and said he wanted a match. He wanted to be able to put the title on the line. And you guys said, all right, have your pick, whoever you want. And if you haven't seen,
let me jump in there though.
Okay.
Because what I think is really cool is it is nice to see that both Joe Black and Bryce Cannon are given the same opportunity to choose an opponent. That shows that you, Sal, and that Jake the Snake have great respect for the Jake the Snake Legacy champion. And I think that's a great thing because there are places where he doesn't get very well respected. So to see that there's no favoritism, and he had a problem with that he thought for a while that exotic youth were, being discriminated against because of the tag team opportunities and things of that nature. So to see that he's getting a fair shake as the Jake the Snake Legacy champion, the same courtesy that's being given to Joe Black, I think that shows great fairness.
We want our champions to know that, hey, you're the champion, right? You're the guy.
Yeah.
Whether I like you or not is irrelevant when it comes to the end of the day. You find a way to get the 3 count. You find a way to be champion. I respect it. I've been on both ends of the spectrum, fighting for a championship and being a champion. Sunny Days and I are former Southern Honor Tag Team champions, right? Like, I've held gold in that building. I know what it means. I know what it represents, because it's not just, oh, I'm a champion at Southern Honor. It's putting the whole state of Georgia, it's putting the whole Southeast on notice that you're rocking with the best. Like, this is no fly by night, and that carries a lot of weight with me. So when Bryce said, I'm throwing it out, let's run it. And then I'm near giddy when it comes to Joe Black. And keep in mind, we had the discussion with Joe. Myself, Jake, and Joe had a sit-down conversation. And it wasn't long, because it wasn't a, who do you want? Let's run down a list of guys. We said, Joe, if anybody has been the face of this company for 7 years, if anybody represents what wrestling in the action building is, it's you, Joe Black. We want to offer you. We want you. If you have any ideas, please throw them our way. And he didn't hesitate. He said Davey Richards and no one else. There wasn't a, if Davey's not available, or it'd be kind of cool if. It was, give me Davey, the end.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what I was going to say too, was that if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it on our social media, Instagram or Facebook. It's about, 4 or 5 minute long video. And that way you can hear Joe in his own words explain his decision and how he arrived here with this choice of Joe Black and Davey Richards for the Southern Honor Championship at what is coming up to be perhaps one of our most historic nights ever.
Absolutely.
Being the last night in the action building. So, that's huge. And yeah, to your point, Sal, we talked to Joe after seeing the video, and he said it didn't take long at all. He said when you guys came to him, he said he had that name top of mind. And he's been wanting this match ever since he started his wrestling career.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that as an in-ring competitor, we all have our bucket list, right? Mine might be the Boogeyman in Tatanka, but that's irrelevant. Joe's wanted Davey, Joe, and it's been 2 ships passing in the night so many times. And so to get the opportunity to present this match, first time ever, 2 of the baddest dudes to ever lace up the boots for all the marbles, right? This is it. This is how we close the doors. And in all honesty, I don't want there to be doors left.
Right.
Building's gone, right? R.I.P. We'll miss it.
Yeah.
By the end of the night, I want the roof blown off. I want the doors blown out. I want that construction crew to show up and not have anything to do. That's my goal. And the fact that I can put on a poster, Joe Black versus Davey Richards for the Southern Honor Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. Come on. I don't even God bless his soul. Don West was a personal friend of mine, the greatest salesman that ever lived. Don West doesn't need to sell this one. You just put those 2 side by side, put the title in the middle, and let the rest happen. I'm so excited for this match.
Yes, sir.
I couldn't tell.
I feel that. I'm excited for any match with Joe Black, but because this one means so much to him, it's going to be that much more exciting for me just to call it. So he's my forever champ.
I was going to ask you, after all of the preparation that went into the Rumble Jack title match that you announced, what kind of prep is happening right now for you to announce this match, which I think is going to be a game-changing match?
It's going to be the same vein I've been running with when it comes to Joe Black's matches. I'm going to make it feel as big as it actually is, or I'm going to try to make it feel as big as it actually is. This one, and I've talked to Joe about this, this is going to be this one's special. And for whatever reason, why ever he wanted a Davey Richards, I got to do my part. I got to do my part to make it just as big as it is. And whatever that causes, it is what it is. Diana's got Diana. She's got to do her thing.
And GB, on that same note, I know Diana's going to make this as big as it needs to be, just like you and I are going to make it as big as it needs to be. I know you're excited for this, my man.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very excited.
I can't promise I'm not sneaking out there with you guys.
Oh, okay.
I'll
have to get a fourth headset because we're already going to have Mac with us, but we'll make room.
I know it might be over and all running. That's how excited I am for this match. I literally struggle to find the words deep within my vocabulary on how this is good.
That's saying something.
I mean, because I say a lot of words.
I was gonna say, well, if you're gonna be on commentary, you're gonna have to find the words.
That's saying something, Sal.
Yeah.
You're never lost for words.
You got a week to prepare.
I'll prep. I'll prep hard for this. Like I said, Joe Black and David Richards, say less, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
right.
and that's just that's to top off everything we've discussed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what a it's just going to be special, I mean, because it's a celebration of now, it's a celebration of tomorrow, it's a celebration of yesterday. Again, I mean, we get a chance to reflect on everything that, this building in Canton is represented. And just because I've been down this road before and I know it, you pull up to that building and you're like, what in God's good name? Like, what am I looking at? And the minute you step foot in that threshold of that front door, oh, this is special.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not a person that's going to be there, whether you're in the last row or you're in the first match or you're in the main event, that doesn't know this is going to be special. It's not. This is not going to sneak up and get you like, oh, I can't believe this was good. No. Spoiler alert. This is going to be a special, momentous occasion that legacies are going to be built upon, that people 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now will be like, yeah, but that night, September 12th, 2025, yo.
Yeah. This title match, come on, man.
I mean, here's the thing. We've talked about how Joe Black feels about this. I remember watching Ring of Honor when Davey Richards was the reason you tuned in, because he was just different. He was just special. And so, he's that guy. And for Joe Black, to get that, everybody kind of has that bucket list, that dream moment that you'd like to participate in. Here's what's scary, though. He's putting the championship on the line. And if Davey Richards is as good as he's ever been, this could be the biggest test for Joe Black. And so the question for Joe Black now is, do you move out of the moment that goes, oh my God, I can't believe I'm here, to turning on the fact that you're in the midst of the greatest championship run in the history of this company, right? You cannot allow the concept of being starstruck or living the dream to take you away from the moment. Now, I think Joe Black is focused. He's always been focused. I don't think we've seen this kind of scenario for him before, where he is excited and enamored with his opponent because it's a dream opponent. It's someone he's looked up to. We've seen him in the ring with people he can't stand. We've seen him in the ring with people who he respects, and they're coming up. But someone he has patterned himself after, that's a different look. So we're going to see how well he'll be tested with that. And if indeed we're looking at him as the champion going into Still Here and not Davey Richards, because it's not an impossibility, folks, that Davey Richards could leave as the new Southern Honor champion. So this is going to be a big night. What an incredible way to close this chapter of Southern Honor, and to close out the legacy of that building with a match that really defines what the action building has been about for 7 years in the space of pro wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, you such a valid point there, right? Like, it not without in the realm of impossibility, it's extremely believable, and
Extremely.
it circles back to legacy building, right? We're either going to see Joe Black put his foot on the business's throat and say, this is mine. This building is mine. This, the action building, that's Joe Black's house. It goes down with me. Or we do something that Southern Honor is known for. We rewrite the history books. We make jaws drop, and we go, oh God, now we're in the Davey Richards era, right? And that's why when Joe said Davey Richards, win-win. Win-win. And on the business side of things, well, I got nothing to lose here, right? I either get the greatest heavyweight championship run in the history of the company, carrying us forward into a new foundation, a new era, or I get a new era started with one of the best in-ring performers in the history of the business in Davey Richards. Win-win.
Win-win.
Well, you just said new era twice, so let me use that as my segue here, because not only are you the decision maker and you're joining us to preview the card for next week, you're also on the card for next week in a massive 8-person tag team matchup. You talk about history in Southern Honor Wrestling. Throughout that entire first year or so in the company, there were 2 groups that were just running roughshod all over the place and also against each other, that being the team of the New Era and the team of Fear. Now, you've been connected to a lot of people in this matchup in various ways over the years, and you will be joining the team of Fear along with your Happy Madness tag team partner, Sunny Days. Logan Creed, yes, you heard me correctly, Logan Creed and Ravenna Vane. And they'll be taking on the original New Era members, Alan Angels, Lee Johnson, Owen Knight, and the real mean girl herself, coming back for another match here in Southern Honor Wrestling, the one and only Danny J. That's right, Danny Jordan will be back. 8-person tag team match. This will be absolutely epic. You talk about folks that just didn't just make history, they are the history of Southern Honor Wrestling. And they're coming back for one night only for this epic matchup. This is going to be insane. I know we've got a lot of newer fans that have started watching over the last couple of years, and they've gone back on IWTV perhaps, and they've kind of caught up on the history. We've got a lot of fans, though, that are day ones, that have been there since the beginning, and they lit up when this match was announced. I mean, social media was going crazy when this graphic got posted, and everybody went, what? All of those folks are coming back next Friday, September 12th. Are you kidding me? And so I'm stoked for it. I mean, the whole card is incredible, right? But it's just crazy to see all these old faces coming back for one major, massive night, and I cannot wait for it. All 3 of you guys I know have opinions on this matchup. So ladies first, Diana, your thoughts on this one.
I'm excited for the girls to be back.
Yes.
I'm always excited for the girls to be back. We love to see Danny. We love to see Ravenna. And that's just it. I love to see them come back. And, these other guys are cool too. But I'm really excited about the girls.
G.
This is going to be great. Another throwback to the history of this company. And again, it's where I remind you, if you are new to what we do, refresh yourself. Go back on IWTV, check out the archives, check out, what has been happening so you can understand why this match is so significant, why all 8 of these competitors are so special to the history of this company. Plus, you throw in there, a Danny Jordan who had somewhat retired. And when you talk about the legacy of women's wrestling in Southern Honor, it's Danny Jordan, so to see her back and to see her with her old school running mates of the new era, to go up against the four faces of fear, dare I say, it's going to be a real problem. And again, to a point that Sal's been making, you will not get a second chance to leave this lasting impression. Nobody wants to go out on their sword and say they lost at their last match in the action building. Somebody's going to have to lose. What are you going to have to do to beat them? And considering what Fear is willing to do, and with what we've seen the new era do, this could get diabolical quickly. Yeah. And I'm here for all of it. So, I can't wait to see what goes down when these 8 competitors get in the ring and they leave it all there. There will not be a memory left untouched in this 8-person tag. I can't wait to see it.
And look at some of the former champions here. We've got Alan Angels, a former Southern Honor champion, Owen Knight, a former Southern Honor champion, Logan Creed in various forms, a Southern Honor champion, Happy Madness, former Southern Honor tag team champions. I mean, so this, oh man. I mean, yes, we're giddy for the Southern Honor Championship matchup, but we're giddy for this one as well. I'm giddy for the whole night. I mean, it's going to be insane.
So you guys didn't think I was going to go out and not just let it go without
Never.
me.
Of course.
Come
Never.
on.
That's why I saved this one for last. I'm saving the best for last, Sal.
Especially with it just happening to coincide with the day I was born.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
So maybe I've set myself up to go out the same day I came in.
Now wait a second.
Wow.
So you're telling me September 12th is your birthday?
It's last I checked.
Wait a second. Now this is newsflash here because I did not realize that this show was happening on your birthday. Now I definitely have to bring some community cupcakes.
Yes.
We have to have
for the birthday.
I knew that.
We have a party, the petty party. We have to have cake.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, no, this is my little birthday gift to me. I mean, I'm such a history buff when it comes to pro wrestling. I'm such a the chance that I get to be involved in any facet of history when it comes to in-ring competition still blows my mind. And we're talking 27 years of it. There was 0% chance I wasn't going to selfishly decide to put myself on this show. And I can't think of a better squad to go out with, right? I mean, look, you said it, but I can't impress enough. That first year of Southern Honor Wrestling was almost built upon the back of the new era, right? There were so many of those key words and buzzwords that were tied in with the new era that this dare I say celebration couldn't take place without having some new era involvement and being on the decision side of things, on the money side of things, having to pull strings to make this happen. I wasn't happy, but I knew it had to happen. It's best for everybody involved. Most importantly, it's best for the fans. It's when is the next time? Spoiler alert, never. When is the next time you're going to get to see this new era group together, right? When's the next time you're going to see this form of fear? Probably never. First time, last time, right? Like we're going to go out with the bangest of bangs, like banger alert, whatever the cool kids say. 6'7". I don't really know what that means. My son says it a lot. I think it's good. I don't know. I'm going to pretend like it's good and say this match is definitely going to be 6'7".
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't either.
You're asking the wrong crowd.
Yeah. I'm just Unless it's bad, then this match is not bad. It'll be like 9-10. I don't know. I don't know. I just hear kids talk and question my sanity, which is saying a lot, right?
Mhm.
But
A lot.
but yeah, I mean, let's get it. Like
Get it.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait 1 week, 7 days. I mean, there's just again, I've said it and I'll stand by it.
GB, you know what I just thought about?
What's that?
You know who's going to be sitting with us on commentary during this match?
I do.
AC Mac. The
Oh,
night
God, it's gonna
AC.
be me.
Well, not during your match. Perhaps other
You never
matches.
know.
Well,
you never know.
That's true. You never know.
So
But what I
I
was
want to
just
help
thinking-
us.
Oh,
I was just going to help provide clarity to this 6-7 term.
Oh,
It means to
please.
leave. It means to leave, dismiss, or reject someone suddenly.
oh,
Yeah, we're gonna 6-7 the new era.
Okay.
There you go.
okay.
There you
I
go.
did it. I did
There
it.
you
I'm
go.
cool.
Is it like
There you go.
86? Like when you 86 something? Don't you? Isn't that a thing too? Like,
That was a thing. That was.
Yeah.
a
so
thing.
now it's different now.
Now
Okay,
we're
I don't know.
6-7.
It's
gotta keep
it's
up.
reverse inflation. 86 is now 6-7.
I
Come on.
guess. Well, so what just dawned on me though, GB, was the night that AC Mac defeated Alan Angels to become the Southern Honor champion was also the night that the New Era turned on Alan Angels and AC Mac took over as the leader of the New Era. And so AC Mac will be sitting with us on the commentary table during this matchup with the original New Era.
Wow.
So I don't know
Wow.
what's going to be going through his head during that.
Wow.
Anyways, that just dawned on me. It's who knows
Yeah.
what's going to happen in this thing.
Literally nobody, and that's the
Yeah.
beauty. I mean, from top to bottom,
Oh.
from the moment
Yeah.
you walk in the door until, like I said, the minute the doors are blown off and the ceiling's all gone and the walls are in shambles,
Mm.
nobody has a clue what's coming next,
Nobody
including
has a
me. And I decide stuff. I'm in charge of things.
Yeah.
You're supposed to know.
That's great.
That's how
That's
unpredictable it
great.
all is. Hey, by the way,
Mhm.
don't let me forget to mention this as well. Arrive early next week because Buff Bagwell, the legendary Buff Bagwell, who's appeared on a number of Southern Honor shows over the years, will be in the house doing a meet and greet prior to the show. So you definitely want to get there early. Doors open at 7. Tickets on sale at the door starting at 5 o'clock. Of course, they start at $15. Kids 10 and under, as always, are free. Doors at 7, bell time at 8, and that meet and greet right when doors open with Buff Bagwell. So don't forget about that. We'll, of course, be bringing you the live pre-show starting at 7 o'clock right here on Facebook, and you're not going to want to miss that as well. Who knows who might stop by? Last time, unexpectedly, the leader of the
Alex
Boulaye
Kane.
Club, Alex Kane stopped by.
Yeah.
And you just and on this night where who knows who's going to be in the building, you just never know who might show up on the pre-show with us. So gosh, I can't emphasize enough how much you guys need to make it to this show. You know, David Ali last week mentioned how in 2019, May of 2019, we put just over 1,000 people inside the action building at SHW Retaliation. Who's to say we can't do that again? Of course we can do that
Right.
again. Spread
Right.
the word. Invite everybody you know. And to Sal's point, let's literally blow the roof off of the action building because we're not going to be going back there after
don't need
this
it.
show.
It's useless.
And in fact, that just makes me think about this Lindsay and Nathan match. They may literally try to just tear down the building during their.
They could burn the house down in
Literally.
in a literal manner. Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you guys, parting thoughts here, final thoughts before we let these guys go until next week. What do we got?
It's going to be a wonderful but long night full of all kinds of craziness, memories to be held and made. It's going to be great.
Bring some tissues for Diana because it might get emotional.
Absolutely.
For
Absolutely.
the death match, you can watch.
Oh, right.
Gauze, alcohol swabs, bandages, first aid kits, all the goods. Peroxide, penicillin. You never know. I mean, you never know.
I just
Wow.
want to say, like, again, just kind of circle back and tie it all in. My last match at the Church of Southern Wrestling in Cornelia, I didn't know it was my last match there. right? Uh, Now I know, like, this is it. I, no matter what happens, there will never, ever be another show in this building again. Uh, it's not just about forging a legacy and leaving it all on the table. This is about taking something that wasn't supposed to last a year,
Yeah.
right? Taking something that we have to remind people, hey, we're still here. We made it, and has blown up bigger than anybody could have imagined. It's about taking that and putting the exclamation point on the building, right? It's letting everybody know we're not just still here. It's the best thing smoking, and it's not even close, right? It's going to be all hands on deck. There's not a person that I've spoken to. I mean, we're talking for weeks now. Tomorrow night, I'll be at the 2300 Arena in Philly, and my focus is on being in the action building a week from now, right? Like that's my mindset. And that's the mindset of almost every single person I've spoken to. Davey Richards has been training specifically for this one night. Joe Black's been training specifically for this night his whole career. Right? Like it's not just, hey, come to the show, it's going to be a good time. This is going to be something, like I've said, that we're going to be talking about way beyond our years. That whatever Facebook is in 2068, people are going to be like, oh, but remember that time, that September 12th, 2025? Like, this is your chance to be a part of that. To walk into the doors and know history is being made and you're being a part of history. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to get there.
Yeah, it's a very exciting time. It's a sobering time as well. You mentioned, how 7 years ago people didn't expect this company to exist because it was going to be a one-off and that was going to be it. And one of the real secrets behind the success of Southern Honor has been the action building. It's been the space that has differentiated what Southern Honor Wrestling does from the rest of the independent wrestling scene. It's a building that said, hey, we're not going to just put emphasis on what happens in the ring. We're going to put emphasis on what happens around the ring. We're going to create ambiance. We're going to use production. We're going to create an atmosphere that when you come in here, you've been transported from whatever happened outdoors into this cathedral of pro wrestling. And by doing so, it has literally raised and elevated every other promotion in this area. So when you think about the value of a building, this building, it has its own personality because it came prepared to be what Southern Honor would become. And so, yeah, when we're saying goodbye to something like this, it is the end of an era. It is the end of a chapter. And, people years from now will ride past that area and say, that's the place where Southern Honor was born. That's what they'll say. That's the place where I saw that match, that dog collar match that changed my life. That's the place where I saw that match between Joe Black and Alexander Lev, and it made me want to become a pro wrestler. Those are the things that they're going to get to say. I get to say that was the place where I started my pro wrestling career as a commentator, right there in the action building. Brandon gets to say the same thing. It's the place where V3 was born. It's the place where the state started to realize something different is happening. It started there. I don't get to the Nightmare Factory. I don't get to Ashe. I don't get to All Caribbean. I don't get to all of these other places without the action building. Dreams are born. Legacies are forged. History happens at this building, and we get to write one final chapter a week from tonight. It's a chapter you cannot afford to miss because we're going to build the rest of our legacy on what happens 7 days from tonight.
Yep.
So it would be in your best interest to be present.
Don't miss it.
When the last chapter is written for the action building.
Whew. Man. You know, when I said that bring the tissues for Diana, I was really saying for me because the weird thing is it hasn't totally set in. It hasn't hit me yet, and maybe it won't hit me till next week. It may not hit me
Yeah.
until the show after when we're at a new location. I don't know yet, but I do know,
Right.
GB, you just mentioned it. But yes, October of 2018, SHW had their very first show. Originally, I bought tickets. I was just going to show up as a fan. I heard about this new promotion starting up. I get a call. I just kind of end up doing commentary, kind of as a fluke. Somebody called me from there and said, "Hey, you want to do commentary?" Sure. That's how I started. And here I am 7 years later. I mentioned earlier how sometimes 7 years feels like it went by like that. And other times it feels like, man, that was so long ago, right? So much has happened in that short span of 7 years. And it just feels like forever ago. But man, it's all thanks to that action building. It's all thanks to Southern Honor Wrestling that I'm doing what I'm doing. And it's just, I'm going to get emotional talking about it. So I'm going to save that more for next week because we'll wrap this week up. But just, we implore you, make your plans. And like I said, if you already have plans for next week, change them and come see us, 261 Marietta Road, Canton, Georgia, at the Action Building. Leave the memories alone. SHW77, the final night inside the iconic Action Building where so many memories have been made over these past 7 years. We cannot wait to see you there. Spread the word, spread the word, spread the word. I can't say it enough. Invite as many people as you can. David Ali called it last week. Let's hit SHW 1000 one more time. All right. So let's pack it out. Let's blow the roof off. And until we see you next week, this has been
SHW.
This is our wrestling.